On a new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. I am your host, Juwaan. Join with me, as always, is my co-host, Joel. What's up, Joel?
What's up, Juwaan?
Is that, when I say that, is that like a double negative? If I say I am your host, but then I'm joined by my co-host, shouldn't I say I am your co-host, joined by my fellow co-host? Or does it not make a difference?
You could say I'm one of two or something like that. Get clever with it. I don't know.
No, because I feel like when I say I am your host, people like, all right, he's the host. And then I'm like, all right, my co-host. And they're like, well, wait, are you the host or are you the co-host?
Co-host, yeah. No, you're a co-host. So I guess technically, I guess you lead the show though. So like,
it was throwing me off. I don't know. I just want to make sure it's very clear. Equality. You know what I'm saying? Equality here.
I am one of your hosts. You can say that.
There we go. Fucking love Joel. I'm telling you guys. I don't know where I'd be without Joel. I'd be in a gutter somewhere selling drugs. That's where I'd be.
That's not what I told you, so I assume not.
Joel saved my life. You guys don't know that. Joel saved my life. He came to me one day and said, hey, I'm going to gift you all the knowledge of comic books. Like, all right. And then I stopped selling drugs.
I entered the group expecting everyone to know what they were doing. Imagine.
No. How sadly wrong you were, my good sir. How sadly wrong. Joel came in and he was just like, all right, Juwaan, Secret Wars. I was just like, is that Batman? No, that's Marvel. I only know Batman. Like, no, that's impossible. Yeah, I only know Batman. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Joel's like, I'm quitting. I'm quitting today. Today.
All the creative minds.
No, but it's I think I've known Joel for 6 years now. We've done conventions together, we've met celebrities together.
Almost.
Joel tried to get me to hook up with Rebecca Romaine. We've just had some great memories. He did. Charlie Cox kissed me at Ace Comic Con. We've just been through so much together, Joel.
I will headbutted you if that counts.
Look, all I put in my report is that his head came here, my head came there. That was a kiss to me. That's all I'm saying. Charlie Cox kissed me at Ace Comic. That's all I'm saying. Whatever you guys want to take from that, it's whatever you want to take from it.
So the biggest shock of the night was seeing how much not taller he was than Juwaan.
First of all, that is very true because when we bumped, I was expecting to go like, I'm so sorry. And more so it was like, hey, I'm sorry. And it was just like, oh, wait, that's weird. I didn't know anyone was around my height. I thought that's why when I met Joe, it was just like, there are more like me out there. There's more like me out there. I didn't know.
Yeah. So much of our group now is so short. That's crazy.
When we all took that photo together at New York Comic Con, you can kind of see like Joel peaks and then it's kind of just consistent short. Like, it's just like we look like Keebler elves and Joel's just like saying it. It's just like, you guys are so fucking short. Goodness. But no,
small.
It's been a great 6 years. I just wanted to reflect and highlight. We've literally done everything. The conventions, the movies. Now all that's left is just to take over the world. That's it. We got nothing left to do, Joel.
There really isn't anything. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's do world next.
Right. Yeah. Let's make MTV.
Can we take over the world and avoid politics? Is that possible?
Yes. Very possible.
That's possible.
Yeah. We just ignore everything. What do you guys think about vaccines? I don't know what comic issue that was. Was that Batman 52 or
does it matter?
Anyway,
you got invested.
Yeah, so your Geek Minded podcast.
Yeah, Geek Minded. Lasted a whole couple months.
No, but it's funny because I went back because I actually took down our that page. Not fully, the videos and stuff are still there, but I think I put the page on private. So I figure out what I want to do with it. And I was just going through because obviously, rest in peace, our very good friend Gerald. I came across a few of the reviews the three of us did together. God, I love Gerald, man. You know, it's funny. Gerald and Trayvon would have gotten along very well.
Probably.
Very, very, very well. And it would have only frustrated me tenfold. No, but rest in peace. We love you, Gerald. But no, so I was going through your videos, and one, I realized how long we've been friends, but two, I realized how often, and God bless you, Joel, how often you did those shits alone. Like, I was going through and I'm like, okay, alone. I'm like, all right, that's probably 1 week. Either me or Vic didn't do it with you. And it's like, no, that's 2 weeks. That's 3 weeks. That's 4 weeks. That's 5 weeks. Okay, hold on. like, wait a minute.
You're all alone.
Do you ever miss it?
Doing it alone or just doing it the show in general?
No, just the way you had that show set up.
Sometimes, but at the same time, it was so much time. I spent so much time editing. I was like, this is not worth it. like, God, I need to crunch it to under a half hour. I can't. It's tough. Because I'd go over a lot and then I'd add images. If I didn't add images, it probably went quicker. But I tried to put pictures of what I was talking about. That was the bitch. If I had a better technology, I wouldn't complain as much.
Right.
But at the time, I had a little fucking laptop. I was using like a Surface, like old Surface.
I remember it. Yep.
That's all I had. You know what I mean? Like it was not as easy, but I did it in my basement. I had a green screen that sometimes worked, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes I edit with the baby with me.
Sometimes the baby would even go, move over, Dad. I got this shit. Like, you're taking forever.
Like, I have a picture of it. And I remember the day I quit. I was like, fuck, I did it on my phone. I was gonna upload it and just do it on my phone. Because I've done videos on my phone before.
Right.
I just did not like the way I looked at all in my video. And I'm like, you know what? It was at Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. 5 years ago. So I'm not doing any more of this shit. I'm done. I can't look. I don't like the way I look. I don't fucking. No one cares about what I think. That's all. Now I said quit.
You know what? Obviously, once you stop that, we started doing more podcasts together. But I always thought the way you did it would catch on. Like if you had did it today, it would catch on. Not only because you had the visuals, but it wasn't long. Yeah, very informed, and it wasn't long. So it was kind of just like someone like, shout out to listener Jim, he could go on, watch it and go, oh shit, I didn't know who this villain was. Joel just broke it all down for me in 10 minutes. I didn't have to sit through 4 hours of Juwaan just talking about nonsense. So I think it would have been really, really, really great for you if you had done it now. Just something to think about.
I thought about it though. Like maybe when I gotta get out of here too though. Like it's just so much. I need my own, like I need an office. I need my own setup. I need an office. I don't have that right now. So until I can do that, then maybe I'll think about doing more solo stuff. And I do like to be more thorough with images so I can show people what I'm talking about. Right. I know that helps. But I don't know. Maybe, and it was once a week, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was just sometimes it was like the week was really busy, so I tried to get through everything. That was such a bitch. We're just gonna leave that for next week.
There was one episode where you were catching your breath because you were going through so much. You were like, okay. It's like,
and then I had the lamps. They were so hot. The lamps. Oh God. No filter air was bad.
Oh, man. Man, those are good times, man. Really fucking good times. All right. Yeah, I wanted to reflect on that, man. I went through and it was just like, damn, memory lane. I love this. This is awesome. So just wanted to reflect on that. I know the people listening are just like, what the fuck? But whatever.
He just took them down, so you can't even go back and watch.
Right, yeah. So they're like, all right, I want to go watch it. About that.
Old news now anyway. That's the problem doing a news show. You watch old shows, I've heard all this. I know what's up now. What are you theorizing about? I know all the answers.
I get it now. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. I want to talk about not the Knicks loss, even though I'm wearing my Knicks RJ Barrett shirt. I want to talk more so. Yeah, it's on the back. It's on the back. Got it for Christmas. But what I want to talk about, Joel, I want to talk about two basketball things before we move on. And the first one is, if you're Tibbs, I have to imagine when you watch Burks go 0-4, you watch Fournier go 0-4, you have to at some point go, I did just give up my Charlotte pick for Cam Reddish. Maybe Cam Reddish could guard Kevin Love. Maybe he could guard Mobley. Maybe he could guard, I don't know, any of these fucking guards that are running rampant against us tonight. To me, and what makes Cam Reddish special is, and I'm not saying run it often. I'm not saying that at all. But tonight would have helped because they had no Jared Allen. You go small ball. You go Randall. You go Randall. You go Reddish. You go RJ. And then if you want to do Fournier and Kemba or Burks in quickly, whatever. But you could have gone a smaller ball lineup, even though Nerlens did play well. To have Cam Reddish, who could guard some of these players, and not utilize him. As a Knicks fan, are you as frustrated as you can hear I am that you went out and got Cam Reddish and you just refused to use him?
I'm not yet. I think it's going to take, especially for a coach like Tibbs, who's very stubborn, it's going to take a while for him to, like, you got to find an opening for him. And right now, playing other guys, and now Kemba playing tonight definitely screwed up that rotation for him. So Cam was looking, outside in, and that sucks. But at the same time, that's what we were afraid of. Luckily, he was hurt for all those games, so we didn't have to worry about it. But I don't know, man. Like that's why I think we have to make a move. We gotta like force Tibbs to make a change because he's not. He has his set rotation until unless someone gets hurt or plays like super shit. And even then, he's very stubborn. They'll work through it.
That's my problem, and I'm glad you said that. That's why I wanted to make sure I was shutting up, letting you speak. That's my problem. If Fournier was playing well and Burks was playing well, this wouldn't be a conversation, right? But you went out and traded for him. Why would you trade for him when you know that you already have Fournier and Burks? And you love Grimes. You don't want to take away from Grimes. You love Obi. You don't want to take away from Obi. Why would you even go make this trade if you didn't have in mind the same day you made this trade, you trade
the
Fournier,
office and the front office and the coaching staff are not the same. I'm pretty much assured that Tibbs didn't make the trade. He's accepting the trade, but they didn't. Remember, they gave away a piece he wasn't using. You know what I mean?
Then that's even more confusing. If this was an organization trade, right? I get it. I get it for the sake of RJ. Look, we've been through it. We saw the Knicks re-sign JR at the expense of bringing on his brother. So we've seen crazy shit happen with the Knicks. All I'm saying is if you're going to force this trade, right, and you realize that Cam wasn't getting that much playing time in Atlanta, how the fuck would you bring him here only to play as little, if not less, than he did in Atlanta? That's all I'm saying. That's all. If you're an organization, if you're going to force that trade, you got to be able to, at the same point, force him into a lineup. And if you can't, then that was just a trade that no one had a better offer. It was a trade you could have waited for, if anything. That's what everyone kept saying. That's what Ian kept saying, that the Lakers wanted him, other teams wanted him. But
there were other teams that wanted him, but then we were willing to give up the pick, the first round pick.
So I'm like, if the Knicks were always willing to do that, again, I have no problem with the trade. I think Cam Reddish can be great. Like I just said, he could help us with smaller ball lineups a lot because he could defend. My biggest issue is if you're going to make this trade, you can't make it. And then I'm watching Fournier struggle. Fournier had so many wide open threes tonight that he was clanking. And again, shooters go through that. I'm not saying it like Fournier's a bust or anything. I'm just saying if he's struggling, you have to sit him and put in Reddish just to see. Hell, because I can tell you this: if Reddish came on the court and just defended Love and stopped half those threes that Kevin Love shot up, that to me is worth more than Evan Fournier dropping 40. Because you're stopping their best scorer who was on fire tonight. I'd take that any night of the week. I'd take that. But instead, I'm going to put Fournier out there. I'm going to put I'm gonna put Kimba and whatnot out there. I'm not Kimba. I'm sorry, Alec Burks out there, and they're just gonna struggle. And last thing I'm gonna say before I pass it back to you, Joel, RJ Barrett, please listen to me. I'm wearing your shirt because I'm the hugest fan of you. But listen to this. You cannot complain about not getting calls if when you get the calls, you fucking miss free throws. It's a moot point. If they call it 50 times a game and you only make 10, what good was any of those foul calls, RJ?
Nope.
That is so frustrating. Give me foul calls. Okay, here you go. Now go make 2. I can only make 1. What? How? I don't understand. What's going on with RJ's free throws, Joel?
Well, I have no idea. I mean, he obviously has to keep practicing. At least they know he addressed it during the post game today. He's like, I missed 5 free throws, and we lost by 2. I can't let my team down. And they're like, yeah, I that's exactly right. And he came out and said it, and I appreciate that. Because that's the first thing I said. You missed 5 free throws, we lost by 2 points. We would have won by 3. Fuck you. You understand? Like that's no. You can't miss. And then we got out rebounded. No.
Yep.
I don't play that shit. Yep. That game was ours. You could easily win that game if you just stick to the fundamentals. Easy shit. You make the game harder when you don't make your free throws.
Yep.
And you don't rebound. That third quarter was frustrating as fuck. Oh my god.
But how proud were you of Quentin Grimes?
He was the third quarter for the Knicks. That's the only third quarter you could be proud of was him. He single-handedly kept them in the game at the end of that third quarter.
Yep. I mean, look, when you look at guys like Grimes, I kind of go, look, I love him to death. And honestly, if I'm being honest with myself, I don't want him to go. But the more I watch Grimes, the more I'm just like, there's just no room for Alec Burks anymore. Once Rose gets back, I want Rose, Quickly, Grimes, Reddish, and Toppin. That's the lineup I want. That's the lineup I want every single night coming off the bench.
When they made the move for Cam, I always figured there has to be another move before the deadline because there's just no room. There's just no room right now, and I know they know that. So it's like they're gonna probably make a move, but who's moving? I have no idea. Who's gonna get traded? I have no idea.
If I could just pray for something to happen, I'm just praying for Golden State to go, man, Evan Fournier, he would look great in here at Golden State. Yeah, he would. Take him. Take him. Well, what do you want back? I don't know.
They would have to, we would have to take back a contract for that to work.
Fuck it. Give me Andre Iguodala.
They have a lot of high-paid players right now.
Goodness gracious. And again, it's nothing against Fournier. I think the Knicks don't put him in enough positions to succeed because he just doesn't fit the way that Tibbs is running. Like, again, I think the reason why Tibbs wanted Fournier is I think he saw Fournier to be as valuable as he – remember how much Tibbs loved Kurt Heinrich. He loved it. Kurt Heinrich was automatic. Obviously, he had Kurt Heinrich. Then he had Kyle Korver. I think he was hoping Fournier would be more like that. But unfortunately, Evan Fournier is missing all the wide open shots those two guys would make. And again, shooters go through this. So I'm not saying it like Evan Fournier isn't good. Yeah. I'm just saying his struggles cannot be in the city of New York anymore. Like you can go struggle somewhere else. And then look, if it haunts us later on, I can sleep safely at night. I don't care. But he should be moved. Burke should be moved. Because you could have more fun with the Knicks roster if you do that. Like Miles should play more. Miles should play more, especially when Rose comes back. Rose shouldn't come back and play heavy minutes.
He should play more, but like as we saw, and he has opportunities. There were opportunities for him to play. After that Oklahoma City game, we've never saw Miles McBride again. I don't know why. I know one game, but that's it. He was never playing again.
Tibbs is like, all right, you know what? Tibbs is like, all right, you know what, Miles? Get in there. First turnover. Ooh. All right, yeah, you're never playing again. Ever? No.
Ever. You're done.
Yeah, you're gonna go down to Westchester. Yeah, you're gonna do Westchester Knicks. You're not gonna play here.
He kills it in Westchester.
He does. Every time I hear him, I'm like, I don't understand how that doesn't translate. Like, I really, it's the equivalent of you're studying for a test and you're getting everything right. You sit in front of the test and you can't get not one question right. And it's like, I don't understand. You know it though. Like, you know how to get 40 in 6. How is it you can't translate that even a little bit? So
he also doesn't get the opportunity.
Right.
He has a short leash.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like, and again, I'm not giving up on Tibbs. This isn't what this conversation is about. I just have to.
But he is frustrating. I understand. I know a lot of people feel that way. You're like, oh my God, because he is stubborn. For the love of God, when it comes to changing his lineups, it's like, no.
I'll ask you this, and then I'm gonna ask you my other basketball question before we get off of this. What the fuck was that play they drew up to end the game?
Whatever it was terrible. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
I don't understand that.
There were a lot of bad shots in that game.
Yes, and then Randall looked at it like, oh man, I thought I was gonna go in. That was a horrible shot. I don't understand. Why did that shock you?
First of all, he's a lefty. He caught it with his right hand. He had no choice but to do some fucking weird fadeaway. Which, you know what? It's usually his favorite move, but it's way too far away from the basket. Oh, that was a bad shot. I think you know what? It also came down to like who's gonna have the ball at the end. Like, there was 15 seconds left. He's bringing down the ball. I'm like, fuck. And he's just dribbling for like 10 seconds. Then gives the ball to RJ.
Can I say this? Here's the biggest problem Tibbs had on that last shot. Who was the guy we were just saying was responsible for our third quarter?
Grimes.
Who is the one player that the opposing team would assume would not get the ball for the last second shot?
Well, was open. Probably.
Quentin Grimes. They're gonna look at Jules. They're gonna look at RJ. Quentin Grimes would have been the perfect smokescreen, if not the perfect distraction, or the perfect person to utilize for that. If he misses it, he misses it. Who cares?
I mean, RJ was. I mean, when he got the ball, he was open. It's just that he missed the shot, and it was a little too far back. He missed the shot, but he also had time because he took it to the basket. They were definitely gonna foul him. I had no doubt in my mind they were gonna foul him.
100%. Oh, shit! I would have fouled him knowing he can't make free throws. The fuck?
Yeah, easily, yeah. That's your best bet. You might win if you just foul him.
Yeah, I'm like, shit, I would have hugged him. Yep, foul. Put him on the line. I don't care. Got fouled out.
You know what? He gave him. He just by the time he gave him the. RJ's not used to that, to be in that position. What does he already know now? Last couple seconds, shoot the ball. He has to learn. No matter what, you gotta be. It's time management. We got 5 seconds. You have time. Now, what Julius was doing, I guess he was trying to kill the clock, so just in case they make us, they don't have time to, recover. You know what I mean? Right. But just score at this point. Just worry about. Then you can worry about defending. Don't worry about them scoring. You worry about you scoring. He took too long with that ball. Way too long with that ball.
I'll just
that motherfucker. How many turnovers he had there just because he fucking kept walking?
Bro, what is that? What is jumping in the air? I don't understand. Your mind.
He does it all the time, but now they're calling it.
Your mind should tell you, this guy's open here because they're doubling me. I probably shouldn't jump because I'll get caught up.
Why do you keep jumping?
I don't understand. God, man, Melo didn't even do this shit.
He could pass his man easier.
Way easier. Goodness gracious. All right. So my last NBA question. We're getting out of the Knicks because neither one of us want to be stressed anymore. Guys, this episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. With cuffing season right around the corner, you're going to want to satisfy your lady. And now you can with Blue Chew, which is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is very simple. You sign up at bluechew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and are prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package With Blue Chew, men everywhere are excited to see the postman because when your package has arrived, your package has arrived. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code GVN at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. $5 for shipping. That's it. That's bluechew.com, promo code GVN to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details on important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring our podcast. My question to you is, with LeBron, Durant, Harden, Kyrie, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, Chris Paul, with some of these guys on their way out, right? Who are your
LeBron maybe, but
well, no, I just mean Steph Curry's 33. I'm saying they're not the next 10 years. Curry will be gone within the next 4 to 5. Durant within the next 4 to 5. They're not going to play another 10 years. So my question is, who are the top 3 guys that impress you the most that you think can be the next 3 biggest stars of the NBA?
Well, I mean, we see a lot of it. We see Luka, Trey, Ja. That's just off the top of my head.
All right. I agree with Luka. I'm going Jason Tatum. And
how old is Tatum?
Huh?
So how old is Tatum?
Oh, I think he's like 24, 25.
Oh, he's still young.
Yeah, very young. And Devin Booker. That's my 3.
I don't know. Booker's been playing a while now.
Booker's only, I think, 26 or 27. I can look it up. We don't have to guess.
That I don't know.
Let me see. But those guys to me, because it seems like the direction the NBA is in is obviously what we see football is, which is score as many points as possible. Give me the flashy plays. Jason Tatum just had 50-something last night. For the Wizards.
Booker is 25.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought he wasn't that old. And Jason Tatum, wow, shit. Jason Tatum's only 23.
Wow, he's really young.
Yeah. I knew they were young. I just didn't know 23. Holy shit. But yeah, I only asked because, like I said, I don't remember the last guard, like the last full guard of players, because a lot of them were drafted when I was like 4 or 5 that played, like, you know, the Kobe's, the Garnetts, the Duncans and whatnot that retired within like the last 5 or 6 years.
I was the early 2000s guard.
Right. So for me, like LeBron, Wade, Melo, Bosh.
I remember LeBron's first game, All-Star game.
Right. So that to me is my old guard. So that's why I was asking, like, who are some of the guys that we see could be the new guard going
perennial All-Stars starters?
Yeah. And again, I'm not talking about guys that will be the face of the NBA. I'm not talking about that. Excuse me. I just mean guys that we look at the same way we looked at Wade or Bosh or Chris Paul or Melo. Guys like that. That's why I went Tatum and Devin Booker and obviously Luka. Luka is what will extend the NBA's European market. Because you're gonna have scouts looking for that next Luka. You won't find it because there was only one Dirk. There wasn't Dirk and then more Dirks came along. There was Dirk. That was
a
it.
lot of fake Dirks.
Right. You got a fake Dirk in Dallas right now. So yeah, there are a lot of wannabes. You'll never find another Luka. I'm still waiting for that next step from Trae Young. I feel like Trae Young might have the same evolution Chris Paul. I'll never forget that. And I think that playoff series shaped Chris Paul against Kobe Bryant, where it looked like the Hornets were going to beat him and David West. Sorry, we're going to beat Kobe and them. But obviously he was fucking Kobe in his prime. But he really took it to him. And I think that's what helped bring the dog out of Chris Paul and what helped shape him to the guy he is today. Trae Young needs one of those. Like I've watched a few Hawk games and I'm not seeing a lot of the leadership there. But again, I don't think that's a permanent thing. I think that's something that obviously easily he'll work up. But remember last year when we thought the Hawks' biggest problem was their coach? the fuck happened? You got the coach you wanted, and you don't look any better for it. Any better.
Yeah, I won't say I wouldn't put it on Trey though either though.
No.
I still think he's
I'm not putting the losing. No, I'm not putting the losing on him. I'm just saying I watch a lot of games, and again, it's body language. We have a player who gives the worst fucking body language I've ever seen a star of the team have. I've seen Melo upset, but like swiping down the players, like those are some things you just can't do. And then at worst, the team didn't make me available to talk. What the fuck? Nah, I don't like that, man. I don't like that. If RJ has to always be up there, there should never be a day, unless he's sick, that Julius Randle isn't up there with him. Should never fucking happen. But that's what I mean by just the leadership, small things like that. And you see Trae Young a lot when they're losing, just head down. But again, he's super fucking young. That's stuff that you work out of. So again, not blaming him. I'm just waiting to see that step.
right.
But that, I mean, shit, if we're being honest, Jason Tatum does that shit a lot. Where it just seems like it's pouting. And it's like, bro, you can't.
Jaylen Brown, that's another good player, young player.
I really don't understand how that dynamic works. Again, I'm not a Celtics fan, so I don't give a shit. I hope it continues to not work. But those two together, it just seems weird, because whenever you see one player has a massive game, like Jaylen Brown has 40, you see Tatum had like 15. And it's like, it's so weird.
No.
Like, at least when like Wade and LeBron would kind of like alternate, Wade's numbers somewhere else would be great. Like, Wade would have 13 points but had like 15 assists and like 8 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, he affected the game somewhere else. It kind of looks like Tatum and Brown only look to score. They don't look to be the lockdown defender. They don't look to get the team involved. They're just like, bro, I'm gonna go for 90 today. It's like, well, shit, we both can't go for 90. Like, I'm gonna need you to kind of, fall back, get 2 tonight. So,
give me the ball. Relax, man.
I know. What's his name? Woj keeps saying that the Celtics don't want to break it up, and again, you shouldn't have to until it really is a problem.
You have 2 studs. Like, why would you?
Right. I mean, shit. The Lakers didn't split until they had to. You know what I'm saying? It became like, bro, I can't play with him anymore. Like, I can't play with Shaq. I can't play with Kobe. You got to get me the fuck out of here. So at some point they will make that decision. And I guarantee you.
Those are champions. So imagine. You better
right.
figure it out.
Made it even worse. Right. But if they ever do have to make that call, Jason Tatum will be the lifer. Jaylen Brown will be the one to go. Jason Tatum isn't the one you let go of the two. But all right, let's get out of basketball. I don't want to talk football in totality. I just want to talk about one thing, because shout out to Just Your Average Joe. Follow him on YouTube. We argued, like, screamed at each other about this today. You already know how I feel about this, Joel. I believe everyone who wants to change the overtime rule has a loser's mentality. It's a loser's mentality. It's as simple as, all right, I won the coin toss. Because everyone acts like, all right, you won the coin toss, so that puts you at the goal line. Like, they think you win the coin toss, and now you're at the
coin toss. I swear to God, if you call it a coin toss again.
I thought I said coin toss.
No, you said coin toss.
Oh, in my mind, I keep saying coin toss. So I didn't even hear it. Coin flip. There we go. So I don't even.
All right, coin flip works.
No, but my issue is, look, I got on the field. I went the length of the field, and I scored. Why should you now have an opportunity? Bless you.
I'll take it.
Bless you. Why should you now have an opportunity to get the ball back? The whole premise is you stop me, and then you get the ball. And then look, the rules are very cool in overtime. If I get the ball first and I miss my opportunity, you only need a fucking field goal. You don't even need a touchdown. It makes it easier for you. So why would you need to change it to appease the other team? To me, no. Do your fucking job. You couldn't stop me in regulation. You couldn't stop me in overtime. Get better. Do you think they should change the overtime rules?
Yeah. I don't like that rule.
What?
I don't like it at all. What do you mean? What? It's true. Why? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's the argument here? Like,
Because how is that fair to me? I get the ball first.
how is that not fair to the other team? It's equal sides, right?
No.
So if a coin flip, what do you mean no?
You say it should be for equal sides. I'm saying no.
Equal sides. Both you should get both. You both get a chance. That's how they did change overtime for that reason. Now I don't know what. I guess the playoffs is different, but like there was a reason. You score and then the other team has a chance to score. And if they don't score, they lose. Period. Done. That's how it should be.
I just view it as you should stop me. Simple as that. Stop me.
Yeah, you should get a chance to stop it.
No, your defense does. And I went down the field on them.
But time ran out. Like that's basically it.
Hey,
I don't think that's fair. It's not.
Hey, if I get a walk-off touchdown in regulation, it's the same thing. You don't get to now go, all right, we'll put.
Well, then you win it in regulation, but that's not how it worked out.
I'm
just saying, overtime.
I'm just saying, to me, I went down the field, I scored. That's game. That's game.
Yeah, but you didn't get it. You get it because of a coin flip. Not because you fought for it. It wasn't like a jump ball. A coin flip.
Which is 50-50. I could have lost it.
You should not. A coin flip should not determine the win.
It doesn't determine the win. Your defense.
It did last night. It was an all offensive game. Nobody could stop anybody.
Oh, okay.
So the first defense to lock down wins. That's how it should have been.
Now we're talking about a whole nother issue. Now we're talking about two teams who had very shitty defenses. That's a whole nother.
It should have came down to defense to win the game, not offense. It should have came down.
That's what I'm saying.
To the defenses to win that game.
Because that's what I'm saying. My biggest issue is if you're the Bills, Patrick Mahomes in the course of 13 seconds tied that fucking football game. There was no reason that game should have even been in overtime. So now I'm rewarding you by giving you another opportunity when you couldn't get your job done in regulation.
But the offense did. See, one half did on both sides. One half did.
Unfortunately,
that's what I mean. Like that's not fair.
It's a 2-half game, my brother. And look, I appreciate Josh Allen. He said, "Look, I don't think it should change because if it was the other way, I would be celebrating."
Of course, he'd be fine with it if he got the ball because he would have scored.
Right. But
that's not fair.
I appreciate him saying that because Travis Kelce, when New England won in that overtime, he was crying on every radio show that could hear him. I appreciate Josh Allen just going, bro, it's the rule.
You appreciate that he agrees with you, but it's a stupid rule and it should change.
I don't know. I just think at that point you're pandering. Don't pander.
Stop pandering. They did change it. I don't know why the playoffs changed it again. That's how it is.
It's in regulation though now too.
This is bullshit. Oh, that's how it was. It was like you get the chance to defend yourself. You don't get a chance. It's just go first score. That's so simple. It's even worse if it's a field goal. Like what? At least they changed that. You can't win it on a field goal.
They did, right. You can't win it on a walk-off field goal. You got
That's bullshit. I remember back in the day, that was bullshit.
It only to me, I feel like that is fair because it only makes it harder. It makes it harder. The other team has to drive it and actually score a touchdown, not just a field goal. Now, if your defense is ass, then the NFL has nothing to do with it.
Just couldn't get stops when they needed to.
Right.
But it should have came down to defense to stop that game, not offense, because that's what was driving the game.
So it's very apropos that's what won it, because that would have been hilarious if Patrick Mahomes lost on a pick six or on a fumble.
But that would have, that the defense coming up and doing their job.
And again, it didn't. So to me, I kind of, like I said, I'm always of the mentality, and
I think it's a stupid rule. That's how I feel.
I always blame my soccer coach for it. Very simple rule of you can't. I mean, he never let us accept trophies when we lost. Ever. You lost. Simple. Don't matter why. You lost. Fix it. Get better. Simple as that. I never won, so I never actually listened to it. But again, you just gotta accept it, man. You gotta accept it. Those are the rules. Get better, man. Shit, it happened to the Saints in this new overtime rule. The only team that's ever lost that got the ball first was the Saints. Why? Because the other team's defense stepped up, put an end to it, drove down, field goal, won the game. So it happens. It does. The NFL just needs to get better in their defense. They've been very ass with that. But it's no different than when baseball was all home runs. Like no one gave a shit about base hits. Base hits. The fuck is that? I'm swinging for the fence
now because that's not going to win for you anymore.
I mean, shit. If we're talking about something that's changed that I think is horrible, I think baseball's overtime rules are horrible. Put a runner on second. He didn't even have to earn his way to second. You just put him on second.
Such a long fucking game sometimes. Like anything to end it at that point.
Anything to end it.
Anything to end those games at overtime.
Bro, as a pitcher, you know how frustrating that is? I give up one base hit and that, boom, game could be over. He's already on second base. He didn't even earn a way to second base. No, I think that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent. And that's fucking stupid. Especially for the pitcher. Fuck. One guy gave up the gap. Ball went. He's home. All right. Were there any games did you watch any of the football games?
I watched most of them.
And any surprises to you?
Most of them. Mostly surprises. I wasn't expecting a lot of the victories, but I didn't really care. It's not like I had whoever won was fine for me either way. And I don't have a dog in the race, so it was very much just a casual watching experience for me. It was like that Bills Chiefs game was really fun. I fell asleep during the game, and I literally woke up during the duel. I was like, that is a great time to be awake for this part. And the fact that it went to overtime was shocking.
I get everyone's excitement about that game, but I still think Chiefs-Rams was the greatest game I've seen in the last 10 years, where the score was like fucking 54-48, and that shit ended in regulation. But again, it was a regular season game, so no one cared. So I get it, but that game was just like, because it was Jared Goff versus Patrick Mahomes, and I just couldn't believe what I was watching. What the who is Jared Goff? How is he doing any of this? So to me, that game always stands out to me. But no, the game that I would say probably shocked me the most was the Buccaneers and Rams game.
It's the one game I didn't really watch.
Yeah, because
I had to check the score. I'm gonna see who won. I'm like, who the fuck won?
If you're the Buccaneers, you just have to know that on a play where they need to go deep, you don't all out blitz. You play conservative defense. You play prevent defense. Why the fuck would you leave the middle of the field wide open? I don't understand that. Cooper Kupp, you leave him open to just right in the middle of the field. That's just, I have to imagine someone has to get fired for that. You just have to. No way. He could have had a great season as a coordinator. You get fired for shit like that. Are you serious? Mm-hmm. Brady led us all the way back, and you give that up to end the game? Nah, I don't accept that. Now, what I did want to talk about really quickly, Joel, before we leave the NFL, are you familiar with Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
Okay. So the argument today was,
am I familiar with Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford has never been given a fair chance playing in Detroit, right? Detroit's been bad teams, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
I look at Matt Stafford the same way I looked at Kevin Love. When everyone kept saying early in Kevin Love's career, this guy's going to be a perennial all-star. This guy has the goods. You could make a case he was the Joker before the Joker, right? Kevin Love had all those intangibles. He could score, he could rebound, he could assist, right? Yeah. But what was the one thing they always held against Kevin Love? He could never fucking make the playoffs. Ever. Anthony Davis had a roster that wasn't all that much better than any of the rosters Kevin Love had, and he made the playoffs, right? So I go, Matthew Stafford had probably the top 5 greatest wide receiver in all of football history in Calvin Johnson for 5 years. Made the playoffs once, right? I watched Eli get in at I think they made wild card and make a fucking run with 2 receivers that are nowhere near Calvin Johnson, right?
Skilled though.
Very skilled, but if Eli can get his Giants to 2 playoffs that obviously ended in Super Bowls, and Matt only got to one playoff and lost it, and I'm supposed to put him on the level of these top-tier quarterbacks? Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't care how good his arm is, how many yards he threw for. It has to translate to winning. And those Detroit teams weren't always horrible. Remember, they drafted Ndamukong Suh. So the same year you had Calvin Johnson, you had Ndamukong Suh. They weren't always bad. That has to reflect on Stafford. That has to. So what I was saying was, if you're Matthew Stafford, this year only matters if you go win the Super Bowl. You can't just say, well, I got to. Well, Jared Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl 4 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. You're seeing it right now.
So I'm like,
there is a difference when it comes to team. Like Jared Goff took this team to the Super Bowl. There's a good chance Matthew Stafford could probably take him to the Super Bowl because Matthew Stafford's better than Jared Goff. You see how good Detroit did this year. Not well with Jared Goff.
Very fair. Very fair. But that's why I'm saying Jared Goff was playing with house money, right? He wasn't an elite quarterback. He wasn't a quarterback we were looking at saying that's the future, right? He just had a phenomenal defense, and he was able to limit his mistakes.
He was decent. He was a high pick, too. Fucker.
Right. So if he could just get you to a Super Bowl, Matt Stafford, you have to win it, or this was a failure. They gave up so much to assemble this team.
They're too loaded to not like win it all at this point.
That's all I'm saying, Joel. That's all I'm saying. And if they don't, this has to reflect on Matthew Stafford. There is nowhere else for you to point fingers.
If you want to point, you can. But bro, I mean, they're fucking loaded. If he does his part, just like can you blame the Bills' loss on Josh Allen?
No.
That's what I mean. So you can't. What happens if they fall short like that?
Oh, if they fall short, like, oh no. Time out. No.
You said if they don't make it, it's on him. But I'm like, what happens if it's not his fault?
I'm saying if you make it there and you don't win it, right? Regardless of how you didn't win it, the expectations for this team are Super Bowl or bust, right? Okay. The Bills' expectations were just they would be a really, really, really good team this year.
But if he's not he only plays one side of the ball. He can't control the other side.
Oh, if you're talking about the team gets 64 points and he can only score 48, okay, then yeah, sure. But we know that's not the case with this defense.
I'm just saying. No, they shouldn't. This should not be the case with this defense. It's a really good defense.
Very good defense. Shit. I mean, Matthew Stafford almost fucking lost in the game yesterday. So that's what I'm saying. To me,
it was a crumble.
To me,
everything it was all close though. Let's be fair.
No, but it wasn't the whole game. In the third quarter, do you know?
I know.
Oh, okay.
It was towards the end, but most of these games were close games. You know what I'm
saying? Okay, yes.
And the two best quarterbacks arguably got eliminated. Well, aside from obviously, who came back and won it, but Tom Brady.
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I couldn't remember who got eliminated. I'm like Josh Allen. What? Yeah. Okay, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I know who the fuck you were talking about. Like, you
definitely put Josh Allen up there now. Josh Allen's a beast. So, but yeah, there's two vet.
I said this today. The Bills have to be careful that they don't make Josh Allen into the next Dan Marino. You got to be very careful. Dan Marino at any point was the best quarterback in that time that did not have a ring. Didn't have a ring. His team just never came through. And the way that his defense collapsed in a game that they should have easily won, And the AFC is only going to get better. The Bengals are going to get better. The Chargers are going to get better. You assume whatever the Raiders do, they're going to get better. New England's there. You can't do that to Josh Allen, bro. You just can't. You cannot. But all right. We can move on. Shout out to my boy, my boy Joe Burrow, the Iceman. The Iceman Cummins. Shout out to that boy. I love the swagger on that kid, man. I picked the Bengals to beat the Chiefs. I really hope he can pull this off, man. I fucking love that kid. It's just swagger. To me, certain players just have it and certain players don't. He fucking has it. Oh, excuse me. All right. let's move on. Joel, we got some. Oh my God, Kevin Love shot that from fucking Africa. I'm sorry. The highlights.
The one he made all three at the same time, like back to back to back. That third one, nobody was on him. It was his third three.
No one, and it's just like.
Did you see Julius Randle? Where the fuck was he guarding?
You know what's the most frustrating part about that? It's Kevin Love. It's not like it's not the eighth player down on the bench that's a scrub making these shots. It's Kevin Love. Why would you think he can't do that? I don't understand.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Make him go to the fucking basket. I dare him to drive to the basket.
Goodness gracious. And yeah, Mobley, if you want to make that next step, you got to cash in on those game-winning free throws, bro. Oh my God, I just watched that Julius shot all over again. Oh man. Okay. Sorry, where were we? Joel, you just posted news that Batgirl, we have a face to the new best friend of Barbara Gordon in this movie.
Yes.
And she's transgender, right?
Yeah, in the comic book she's transgender, and it looks like she's probably transgender in real life. So
obviously,
makes sense.
That's really cool representation. I like that a lot. No, I got it up here. Don't worry.
I got you if you don't got it.
I got it. All right. So Ivory Aquino to play Alicia Yo. In the Batgirl movie for HBO Max. I've been watching a lot of the set videos.
Mm-hmm.
She's going through some shit, bro. She's going through some shit. I'm very curious when this movie comes out how they explain what the fuck Bruce Wayne was doing while Batgirl was out here fighting fires to save her life. I'm very curious how they answered that question. But my question to you isn't about the casting per se, because it's kind of just like, well, all right, she has a best friend.
Right.
But is this movie starting to become on your list of most anticipated?
We talked about it. It's up there, but I don't know. It's still. I gotta see what happens after Flash. See, then it'll probably move up higher. But yeah, I mean, I've already been really interested in it. And every new thing we hear about it gets me a little bit more excited. So knowing that now Firefly is in it, we've known that for a while. Possibly Killer Moth. Obviously about possibly Dick Grayson, Black Canary, stuff like that. I'm very interested in seeing the movie more so now than I did when I first heard about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's going to be an interesting shooting schedule, because if those two are in the movie, I always say what I enjoy most about filming is keeping things like that secret, the ability to keep things like that secret. Because I'll tell you right now, what is it called? Not Entertainment Weekly. Anyway, the big trades will announce within the next few weeks whether or not Dylan McDermott is Nightwing. Like, you'll officially hear Dylan O'Brien. Sorry, what did I say? McDermott.
I think he just. I think he's just dropped about Dylan McDermott. That's
funny. Dylan O'Brien. Sorry. The major trades will release that before we actually see him on set, if he is indeed in this movie.
Right.
That's just too hard to hide. That's just way too hard to hide. All it takes is one person that sees him like, that Dylan O'Brien? Oh shit.
Because apparently Michael Keaton is filming his scenes in February. So,
right.
Okay.
So I'd say if he is in this movie, we'll find out before the end of this month. Because I find it hard to believe that whatever scenes Keaton is shooting won't have Dick Grayson in them. Now, could you have Dick Grayson just approach Barbara Gordon without Batman? Yes. Would I want you to? No. I want this movie to end where Batman brings her in, and when she comes in, she sees Dick Grayson there, and she's like, who the hell is that? And he's like, that was Robin. Like, you thought you were my first? Ha! No, that was my Robin. So I kind of just want to see the Bat family together. We've been waiting too long for you to have it to where Dick Grayson and Barbara just having a conversation on a building somewhere. Like, no, put the three of them together. Make that sandwich. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely high on my most anticipated, just because, like I said, if you're doing the Bat Family, you're already a step in the right direction for me. That's it. Not difficult. You're already in the step in the right direction. Like I said, I'm very simple here at this point. All right. Let's move on. I want to go over this, Joel, because no, you don't watch Mighty Ducks, do you? Did you watch? I'm thinking Joe.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. So Josh Duhamel will be the new coach in season 2, replacing Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, apparently.
How you feel about that?
All right. I mean, I like Emilio Estevez, but they can't figure out a way for him to come back. Then fuck it. What are you gonna do?
I thought he left because he was sick, right?
No, it can't. Apparently, there was some type of. Well, he says it's what's it called? Dispute. It's called.
Yeah.
Not seeing eye to eye on narrative, I guess.
Oh. Well, shit. I mean, he's the original Mighty Duck. If he wants to come out there with his balls out, he wants to come out there with his balls out. Just say yes. Fuck.
What I want to do.
Anyway, moving on. Did you see the funeral clip from the Batman, or did you stay away from that?
I stayed away from it.
Okay, then we're not even gonna talk about it. Let's keep going. Look how much I respect you, Joel. All right. Mary Elizabeth Winstead joins Rosario Dawson in the Ahsoka series in an undisclosed role. Again, very fucking excited for whatever she's going to be doing. But I'm more excited about the fact that Tamar Morrison keeps hyping these last 3 episodes, saying that it is a massive cameo.
Really?
And to me, Finn is not a massive cameo. Like, he's just not. Like, seeing someone that's realistic to see isn't massive. So I'm very curious what massive cameo is.
To me, I don't care who it is. It's gonna be hard to top Luke Skywalker.
No, you know how you top Luke Skywalker? Luke Skywalker again.
Yeah.
You just double down on it. Like, hey, it worked the last time. They'll love it again. And they're right. I will fucking eat that shit with a spoon. What was I gonna say? So I'm very curious about that. Very, very, very curious about that. All right, what was I gonna say? I just completely lost my train of thought. No, so I am very excited for the next episode of Book of Boba. But I wanted to discuss this, Joel, because me and you are gonna have a lot of fun with this. In the newest episode of Peacemaker, right? Last week's episode, not so no one thinks we saw this week's. Last week's episode. Did you notice the newspaper that the cop was reading when Vigilante threw the trash can through the glass, or threw it at the glass, not through it? You barely fucking lift the trash can.
I did, yes.
I'm now very curious because I gotta watch that Black Adam clip again from Fandom. One of those chicks, I swear to God, looked like Hargrove.
I think it would have stood out if it really was Hargrove, but she's supposed to be in Black Adam.
Right. And now it makes so much sense because that article said that there was some crazy shit happening in Conduct. So I'm very curious, does it connect to this? Because we again know James Gunn's original concept for Suicide Squad was I'm sorry, that wasn't his original. That wasn't his original script. That was the guy who directed Ben and the Accountant. That was his Gavin O'Connor. Gavin O'Connor is going to have them steal Black Adam's tomb. That's right. But again, that was still a concept, and it looks like that's still something that they're utilizing in Black Adam. That people come and disturb the peace, and Black Adam comes out and goes, "I will fucking kill all of you." I had to explain on Joe's review for Peacemaker. A lot of people didn't know who Gorilla Grodd was. And I had to explain to them, the gorilla that they were referring to is not Gorilla Grodd, but it is a nod that Gorilla Grodd is probably recruiting gorillas. It's very unusual that someone's able to just steal a gorilla. So I took that as a gorilla.
There's got to be a reason that was even mentioned.
Right.
Why is it make a focus?
Grodd.
Right. That's why everyone's first thought was like, Are we not all thinking the same thing?
Right. You know, the first thought I had, Joel, and I said it on Joe's podcast, bro, I swear to God, James Gunn's going to put Gorilla Grodd in a new Suicide Squad. Like, he's going to do it. Because you got, to me, I kind of feel like you have to heighten it, right? So you went all, like, D level, right? With a lot of those characters you utilize outside of Harley Quinn, obviously. So it's like, how do you top that? How do you have more fun? Fucking bring in Gorilla Grodd. That's awesome. Bring in Gorilla Grodd. And again, look, Flash had a line that a lot of people thought was a throwaway line when he said he's proficient in gorilla sign language, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's Grodd. That's so like, that's a weird thing to say, but that's Grodd. That's fine. That means you can speak to Grodd, even though you won't need to because he actually speaks. so that line was kind of just like, all right.
And throwaway, but you know, it's an allusion to the future.
Right.
And Gorilla Grodd to me is one of his major villains. So
right. And because we now know we probably won't get still breaks my heart. We won't get Digger Harkness. Gorilla Grodd sounds more
Boomerang.
Yeah, it sounds more reasonable for a Flash Part 2 villain.
Yeah,
that we did
not going to use the Rogues. Maybe the Rogues could just have cameos.
I mean, shit. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Flash has ruined the Rogues for me. so to me, if this Flashpoint movie doesn't give me Reverse Flash, those are honestly the two other villains I want to see for Part 2 and Part 3: Gorilla Grodd, and then obviously Eobard. Outside of that, I don't really think you need to do anything else. But did you like Peacemaker's dad's suit? How freaking spot on was that suit?
Really spot on. I mean, not as excessive, but no one needs to be that excessive. But it's pretty damn accurate.
I know how much you like that.
I do. It goes a long way in my for me.
Well, it's very particular about getting shit right, and you can't get any righter than that. That's for goddamn.
I love me some like comic accurate costumes, especially ones that don't look stupid. Like if you can make it look stupid and look good and accurate, that's impressive.
And I love James Gunn because he just told us how this series is gonna end. The fact that Vigilante walks in and goes, "Oh, there are so many like cracks in his armor," that immediately let you know Peacemaker's dad's gonna get out, put his suit on, and Peacemaker's gonna be struggling to kill him. And then boom, the only way for Peacemaker to get over it and become the Peacemaker he wants to be, he has to kill his dad, and he will of course remember, there's some, I can put my gun in here and shoot you. There's some you know what I'm saying, some
holes in the armor.
Right. Yeah. So that easily told us how this is gonna end. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because, you know, a lot of us are probably thinking, like, where does this butterfly thing end? But I think we were overthinking this might end with them solving that. But the real main villain of the season is Peacemaker's dad. You know, not the.
I do want to know what the fuck is going on with these butterflies, because I'm like, the weirdest things.
Okay. So I said this on Joe's show. I don't have to go into it if you don't want to. So I'm opening this up to you. Kanan said he heard what's going on with Myrn.
What's going on with Myrn?
Okay. So this isn't a spoiler alert, anyone. I'm not giving you details of anything crazy. But apparently Myrn is a butterfly. But
we saw that.
No, right. But he's trying to be better. So he joined this team.
A good butterfly.
He's trying to be a good butterfly, right. So he's trying to rectify the mistakes of his past.
He's defected from the bad butterflies.
Right.
Interesting.
So
I was just thinking that. I'm like, why is he on the team trying to kill butterflies if he's a butterfly?
Right. Yeah, so that's what he was saying. When he told me that, I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. At some point, I would have came to that conclusion. It makes perfect sense.
The only thing that makes sense right now. So
really, the only thing, fuck, is if they find the hive of butterflies and the Myrn goes, no, you can't kill them. They're my family. Bitch, what? Like, you've been killing so many of them with me. Why
are they? Obviously alien, but like, it's just. I do appreciate fucking James Gunn bringing aliens into the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
And
second time he's done it.
and you're with me on the fact that Adebayo is clearly lying about everything, right?
What do you mean everything?
She's never shot anyone. She's never killed a person. She's never even fired a gun. That
She's definitely
shot,
lying.
that shot. If I put a gun in your hand, Joel, you're not making that shot.
Yeah.
You
Well,
might not
I
even
thought-
hit the man, let alone dead center, right where you know it won't kill
Heart.
him.
Even though he didn't die somehow.
Well, no, I think she did that for a reason. I think the whole thing was you don't want to kill him, right? But you just needed to shut him up. Nothing shuts up someone
Well,
like going into a small coma.
Amanda Waller did say that she has God-given talent. So maybe that's what she's talking about.
Right. And
she's fighting it. That's the whole thing. And she's fighting what she's good at.
And let me say this, because this is what's really good about James's writing. Notice every time they shit talk Waller, he always shows Adebayo kind of just looking like,
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's a lot about her
talk her a
mom.
lot. Yeah.
I think there's a lot about her mom she doesn't know. So like she sees her mom as she raised me, she trained me, she was a great mom. She was a little hard, but that's parenting. I don't think she knows like Amanda Waller was willing to let all of Corto Maltese die. Like, she was just like, no, come on home. Come home, let them die. I don't give a shit about them. So I love how each time they're like, Amanda Waller is a fucking bitch and she kills people. Adebayo's just like, no, not my mom. It's like, yeah, your mama crazy.
She a cold-hearted bitch.
She a cold-hearted bitch. But no, this is a really, really, really good episode, and I can't wait for Thursday to see where it goes. Obviously, I saw the trailer. And shout out to the people on YouTube who are releasing the trailer for the next episodes because for some strange reason, streaming services refuse to do that. But apparently they're going butterfly hunting. Yeah, and it's the shot you see in the official trailer for Peacemaker where they go into the factory. So that's the next episode, the factory run. So that's very interesting. I can't wait to see what plays out from it and learning more about Mern. Very weird motherfucker right there. Goodness gracious.
I was wondering where that was going. You never know.
Yeah. But how much did Vigilante stick out to you this episode?
It's like every episode he has something. I'm like, that guy is so fucking funny, bro.
I love that guy, man.
He is tearing up the whole screen when he's acting.
Which, by the way, because that was our first time really seeing it, because obviously Judo Mask was fucking them up. But seeing how proficient he is in hand to hand, you didn't really see that till obviously that prison fight. Yeah. I thought we were gonna get a Rorschach scene. I thought they were gonna open his cell and he was gonna have to fight his way out. I was really looking forward to that.
He was cheesing the whole way. Like they don't know who he is though. That's probably why either, you know.
Right. But no, and look, he was absolutely right. Black people is to thank for probably everything in America.
It's like they were hating that.
Yeah. Look, some people just hate the truth, and he gave them nothing but the truth. You wouldn't have rock and roll music without black people, so you're welcome. And you're welcome, America. But yeah, this is a really, really, really good episode. Yeah, I just can't wait to see what else comes from it. But all right, let's move on. Speaking of Book of Boba, you remember the character that Emilia Clarke played in Solo?
Yep.
Did you ever know that she was trained by Darth Maul?
In what way?
So Darth Maul trained her in hand-to-hand combat. She actually, the movie doesn't really showcase it much, but in the comics, she actually
that's how it ends.
Right.
It ends with her joining forces.
She is actually one of the most proficient in hand-to-hand combat in all of the galaxy. It's an art form that Maul teaches her that very few utilize. But obviously he didn't train her in any lightsabers or the Force. She's not Force sensitive. But he just trained her to be a killer, which is why it makes all the sense in the world that she probably shows up at some point before this series ends, or her organization has something to do with it. So I thought I'd just throw that nugget in there. I thought you'd like to hear that. That's pretty cool. She fucking trained with Darth Maul. Not many people can say that. Maul usually kills before he lets you in. But anyway, all right. So I've been waiting to talk to you about this, Joel, because I swear to God, I said to myself, this might be the greatest episode of Power I've ever seen in my life. What a fucking episode. Why couldn't she just let them eat dinner, Joel? Why is she just like, you know what? I'm choosing violence and fuck everybody at this table. Like, she just laid receipts out like, you still fucking that boy you were supposed to kill. You over there stealing coke. You fucking somebody else. Like, she was just like, you really her son. And I love how when she says, that's not your auntie, that's your mom. And he's just like, auntie, that's not your auntie, stupid. That's your mom. And yo, the internet is a horrible place to be. The internet had a kindergarten, a class of 2005 or 2003 or whatever, and they had Zeke as a full-grown adult in that class.
Yo, he had to look like a grown-ass man in that fucking class.
Bro, because that's just such a weird lie to utilize. Like,
it's a gap. There's like a 5-year gap.
It's a huge gap.
What was it?
No, go ahead.
His thing said 2002, but he was actually born in 98 or some shit.
Right, yeah.
That's a big gap.
It's a huge gap. But how would you think that nobody would find? Like, she found this out very easily. She didn't pay people off, kill people, investigate. It was a phone call she had. So I'm like, if she could find it this easily, how would you assume that once he got drafted, that wouldn't be something so easy for someone to find? Again, someone would have to know to look for it. Yeah. But it wasn't buried. And I love how Zeke's like, they're not going to let me play basketball no more. Like, forget the fact you're my mom. They're not going to let me play basketball no more.
Yeah, I mean, his life is ruined in his head, you know? He's ineligible now and shit.
Yeah.
All that bullshit.
Little does he know his dad is filthy rich. He doesn't have to worry about none of that shit.
Slowly. I mean, he's learning. He's learning.
So I'm going to say what I took from this episode, and then I want you to please break this down for me. I'm going to say the same thing to you that I said to my dad about the Kanan series. When I was telling him well before the finale, I think Kanan at some point is going to kill his mother. I think that's what makes him as hard as he is. Because when he killed Jukebox, there was no semblance of love for Jukebox at all. And that series makes you think that they were so close. He pulled that trigger without even hesitating. So I'm like, to get to that point, the only person he values of that much is his mother. So I'm like, if a person can kill their mom, killing their son, killing their cousin is very.
He's seen him kill his son.
Right. So I'm like, if he did that, I think he's gonna kill his mom. So I bring that up to say, Joel, before I pass it to you. I think Diana might kill Monet. I think she will. I think she will, to show allegiance to her father.
That'll be interesting.
I think so. To me, Power always does crazy shit like that. So where you're just like, okay, that's mother and daughter. No way anything's happening with that. And it's just like Tommy strangled the fuck out of his girlfriend, like super strangled her. Strangled her so much the baby was like, hey, goddamn, wait a minute.
He didn't know she was pregnant, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That was sad when Tasha told him. He was just like, I'm sorry, what?
And he killed her to protect Ghost.
Right.
Basically.
And Ghost never appreciated that shit, man.
It's true.
Never appreciated. Ghost was just like, all right, so did you clean her up, Tommy? And he's like, did I clean her up? She had my baby. And Ghost was like, yeah, and then I heard you, but did you clean it up? Is she gone?
She ain't chilling at home.
She's not still here, right? Okay, good. Make sure you killed her. But no, so what were your thoughts on this episode? Did you like Tariq anymore?
I never liked Tariq. Still don't like Tariq. I don't know how you expect me to like him at more. Like, no.
One day, Joel, you will go, you know what? I like this little motherfucker. I like him.
Don't.
But how'd you like the episode?
I like. There was a moment in the beginning when they were recapping and his sister is getting taken away. I'm like, if that little girl even knew that you killed her father and was also responsible for her sister's death, see how much she want to be with you.
Stop snitching, Joel. Goodness gracious.
It's better off
Snitching
without
all
her.
the time.
I like that Ghost had a backup plan for her. Let her get adopted. She's way better off without that motherfucker.
Bro, I'm going to say this. I know people speculated this, and I always said no, because it makes no point to give Tariq this show if that's the case. When he explained how thoroughly Ghost set that up, that sounds like a person who knew they were going to die.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to believe either he saw this coming or he's not really dead.
No, I think he did see it coming. That's how much he did not trust his son.
Well, no. That's so fucked. He was so specific.
That little nigga's gonna fuck.
I'm like, Ghost didn't have, if Ghost wasn't sleeping with someone, he was either killing someone, selling drugs, or at the club. When did he have time to do any of this? Like, when did he have time? He died running for office. Like,
and he would have got away with it too. What was that stupid kid?
Yo, we need that episode of Scooby-Doo where Ghost is he's trying to peacefully sell drugs, and Tariq and the rest of the Scooby-Doo gang foils him, and it's like, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that little motherfucker.
Oh,
but no, what did you think of the episode?
No, it was really good. It was probably one of the better ones we've seen. Yeah, and she was like pipe bombs all over that damn kitchen table. There was no secrets anymore after that.
None whatsoever.
All out on the table. Literally, everything was out on the table. It was insane. And that bitch is like, you should leave. The fact that was the last thing he said, that you should leave, that was very calm of him to say shit like that.
Very.
Because everything came out all at once. That's like, this sounds a little over. Everybody was taking it differently, but damn. And then that bitch had the nerve.
What? The part that had me dying laughing was everyone was freaking out, and Kane just goes, "I'm not your oldest." Bitch, that's what's important right now. Like, I laughed at that. I'm not your oldest, ma.
That's what he was worried about. You're not the oldest. Yeah, you ain't the fucking oldest anymore, asshole.
When he said that, I'm just like, that just doesn't seem like the moment to inquire about that.
He's obviously the stupid one. Like, I'm not the oldest. Why does that matter, Kane?
Like, mom cheated on dad, sister's out here breaking up the family, but I'm not the oldest anymore? What? That's crazy.
That means he's in line to see a different father. It doesn't even matter. Chill.
It doesn't even, it has nothing to do with anything. I'm sorry, go ahead. I couldn't stop laughing when he said that. I'm like, why is that important to you right now? Like,
but at the end, they left her where this girl's hanging and shit.
Yes.
Monet killed her, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's how I took it. I'm like, yeah, all right, so they're going to make it look like it's a suicide, but I bet you got hung.
And very good on Courtney, Kim, and that entire team, because you want to know why it's plausible for everyone to
everything that just happened.
Suicide.
She came out, she got exposed as a hoe.
No, well, yes, but remember the text she got. Remember the text she got before Monet knocked on her door, where her boss said, "I need to speak to you in the morning." Obviously, he was going to fire her. Yeah. So I'm like, a lot was crumbling in her world, so it makes so much sense.
Yeah, so much sense. Good timing.
Yeah, and look, I think they might have. Remember how when Ghost got shot, it was who shot Ghost?
Yeah.
If Monet gets shot, we could have a who shot Monet. It could be Zeke, because he found out that she killed the teacher. It could be her husband because she cheated. It could be the daughter. Tariq could say, fuck it, if she's gone, maybe that's one less thing I gotta worry about. There's so many different people you could have that killed Monet. Hell, remember that guy she took out because she thought he robbed her, but it was really Diana. His crew could have hit back on Monet. There's so many different areas where she's vulnerable, to where I'm like, okay, I like where this is going. Okay. So I'm very curious of what's to come.
Yeah, I'm very curious myself.
But a great goddamn episode. Jeez Louise. I couldn't catch my breath. I'm like, goodness gracious. And poor Chef. Goodness gracious.
No, I was surprised by that.
I was like, God damn, why you got to see? I thought the son was gonna kill Chef. So I was like, oh damn, Chef. It was good while it lasted, man. And then when he escaped, I'm like, okay, Chef is safe.
Yeah.
And then when he killed him in the hangar, I was just like, oh, okay. Did he even have any evidence that Chef was the mole? He didn't even say anything. He just said he's the mole.
He's the mole.
Based off what? Like,
Yeah,
what happened? Yeah, it's like, I don't need proof. Why? You want to die too? No, I was just saying. He was with you the whole time. What could he have done?
He's cooking. He does, no.
Yeah, goodness gracious. I'm very curious how Tariq's going to... Oh, no. He did... Now, this is what's going to be fun. You ready for this, Joel?
I don't. Not playing.
The fact that Tariq didn't give Davis money, but the ring. Wherever Davis pawns that ring, Mecca can find where that ring was. That's a rare ass ring. That just is. So I'm sure the first thing Mecca did was he put out feelers to any pawn shops. You see this ring, you let me know. So when he finds out and he comes to Davis and goes, where the fuck did you get this ring? And he goes, Tariq. Oh, Tariq, to save his life, is going to go, all right, so don't kill me. This was Kane's idea. Kane set you up. This was him. Kill him. I got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So many things can go left, but that's what I always loved about Power, was that there was never a moment where Ghost could just sit on the couch and just go, man, let me take a quick nap. Never, ever. Every time Ghost took a breath, Tommy would call, hey, may have just killed our distributor. He's like, what the fuck, Tommy? What? Like, why? So I love this episode, man. This was great, and it just showcases why Power is freaking awesome. I appreciate it. You don't watch Ozark, right?
Of course I watch Ozark.
So you're all caught up?
I am all caught up.
Oh my god, that's such a good fucking show. Jason Bateman is so fucking epic in this fucking show, man. He deserves all the... I was rewatching it from the beginning before I got into this new season. There was an episode where Charlotte ran off, right? She was trying to run away. And they were at the trailer park with Ruth. And Marty and his wife and Ruth were trying to figure out a plan, like, all right, everything's fine. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So everyone gets in their cars to drive off. And Marty's son goes, Dad, you forgot about me. He said, oh, shit. I didn't, son. Come on, get in. His son goes, you did, but it's okay, Dad. I forgive you.
He's no longer that son. I'll tell you that much.
Because he brought him with him. And the show does such a good job. You don't see his son all that often in the course of the scene. So you, even as the viewer, forget that he's there. So when they're driving off and he goes, hey, you think, oh, shit, that's right. He was here. Okay. So how far have you gotten in this new season?
I finished it.
Oh, you finished it. Okay. I stopped at episode, because there's 8. There's 7 or 8? 7. So I stopped at 6, because I felt like I wasn't paying as much attention as I wanted to. So that's why I stopped, and I wanted to go from the beginning again.
It's not the end, though.
Huh? No, there's a part 2. Right, there's a part 2. But I always kind of feel like,
that's the way it ended,
because there was so much of a break. There was so much of a break between the last season and this one. Yeah. I just forget so much. So I like to
it was a big break. Just remembering everything that happened. Yeah.
Does it say if part 2 is this year? I assume it has.
I hope so. Better be. It's a long.
I don't think they have to. It'd be weird if they only filmed 7 episodes and then we gotta wait for them to film another 7 or some shit.
No, I think they filmed it.
Yeah. But no, that is, like I said, one of the greatest written shows ever. The only show right now that's on air that I put even close to it is a show that you're making headway in, and that's Snowfall. That returns next month.
I'm in season 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, Joe. I can't wait till you see how much they kick that show up a notch. Holy shit. Goodness gracious. But yeah, I put Snowfall and Ozark in a completely different level.
I watch Snowfall, and I'm like, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, and San Andreas had a baby.
Yeah.
Like,
Joel's he's not exaggerating. That's exactly what that show is. That's 1,000% what that show is. Honestly, I would like them to make a part 2 to San Andreas and base it purely off of Snowfall and have all the actors just voice the characters.
That's what it looks like. I'm like, it's fucking San Andreas meets Vice City.
Nope, Joel is 100% right. That's exactly what this shit is.
It's just a time period, because San Andreas is obviously California, but Vice City is not Vice City. It's just the time period of Vice City, which is the 80s.
Right. Yeah, 80s Miami.
80s San Andreas, basically.
Oh, 80s. Well, to me, I thought it was the height of cocaine, which was Miami. Which is Miami in the 70s and 80s was Vice City.
It was.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the show Snowfall takes place in California. So
right.
It would be 80s California. So that's why it reminded me, because of the time period of Vice City.
Yep. So yes, I can't wait till you get all caught up with that. And then once I'm caught up with
what's funny about Snowfall,
review.
They talk about like the different cartels and shit. And I'm like, we already seen that whole backstory if you watch Narcos. So like, we know what's going down here. Now we're seeing some of what's going on up here. It's pretty funny.
That's why I said Narcos should continue. There's no shortage of drug dealers in the course of American history, or United States. No, not even United States, of the entire globe. So I'm like, there's plenty more cartel leaders you guys can go through. And obviously, if you watch Narcos, they're kind of leading up to what's his name that always escaped out of jail.
It did. That was how it ended.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, if they wanted to continue, you can go into him now. Yeah, El Chapo. And shout out to his wife, who's just like, I'm gonna lie for this man. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I don't know nothing, or he didn't do it. Whatever. I did it. I don't care. But no. That's it. Oh shit. Duh, Juwaan. Batwoman.
What about it?
We got some John Diggleisness.
Some Diggles
up in this episode. Which, by the way, John, let me just say this. For a married man, you were talking awfully close to this woman. Like, for a happily married man, he was just like, yeah, I'm married, but it's just like, I don't think
I'm married,
but
like, now we know that he used to work for them before he worked for Oliver. Mm-hmm. He worked for the Jets.
Yeah, for the Jets. But I love the scene at the end where obviously he talks to fuck, did I forget his name? What's his name? Luke, thank you. And obviously you see him with this container thing that we know holds the ring. And I love how Luke's just like, I don't know where the fuck this shit's from, but it's not from Earth. And Diggle's like, yeah, bitch, I know
everything I can.
Yeah, Diggle's like, I know it's not from Earth. My question was, open it. Like, Diggle's like, open it. I know where it's from. Oh, just open it.
I want to open it because I want to use it.
Right.
Because it closed on me before I had a chance. Like,
right. And now I'm not open it again.
And it won't stop giving me headaches. So I'm very confused.
See, I wanted Luke to be able to open it and pull a Pretty Woman, where Diggle goes to grab it and he closes it. But what did you think of this episode of Batwoman that I swear to God was a filler, but not a filler?
Perfect example of filler, not a filler. It filled in certain gaps, but it was really there to like further push Ryan and what's her name together.
Yes.
And it looks like it's working. and of course we got our first full glimpse of Poison Ivy. And now we see her full strength, and we're gonna see how that plays out. She was fucking killing motherfuckers left and right with them branches. I was like, all right, merc.
Like, you just murking motherfucker.
Nobody stand a chance. It was an okay episode, and then of course you got the ending with the tease with Diggle, so that was cool.
Yeah, no, like I said, it was a filler, but not a filler. So it was one of those episodes I was like, and then when I saw Diggle was in, I was like, all right, fuck, you got me. Now I'll pay attention. Like now I care. But yeah, I'm very interested where this season goes. It's an intriguing one, to be very clear, because I don't understand how reutilizing the buzzer will fix her son. That's very confusing to me. I would assume using the buzzer again would only make things worse. I mean, you're zapping the brain.
That's how it happened, yeah.
Right.
Gotta re-zap it back to his synapses. Like,
I don't think that's how any story should ever work. Where it's like, hey, what happened to him? He fell out. He fell off a cliff. It's like, oh, and he forgot. Like he lost his memory. Yeah. How do we get it back? We got to push him off another cliff.
Again, yeah.
We hit it should bring everything back. Yeah. Good.
I don't think so.
But yeah, Naomi is still weird to me, man. I'm giving this show such a chance, but it's just I don't know where it's going. You know, I'm for the ride, but it's just it's a slow build. It's a very slow build.
Yeah.
And the powers don't even really look that much interesting to me. I'm just waiting.
They're barely showing her.
That's fair. No, that's 100% fair. That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to just play it out and see how this all looks come finale. But like I said, once I started, I'm there. So I'm not saying it like I'm not going to watch it. But
it was like an extended episode of the first episode. So it's just a continuation. That's kind of how it felt. It didn't move much further since the first episode.
Right.
We just got a little more information on Dee and like he wants to train her, I guess. That's new. So there's a lot. Again, they're doing things differently. So I'm just gonna sit there and wait and see how they proceed. Right.
And shout out to the CW, because apparently the only way to know if you have powers is to make you jump off
bridge.
Remember in with the crossover with the Legends, where she was trying to figure out if she was Hawk Girl. And he was just like, you have to jump off the building. There has to be a better way for me to figure this out.
Luckily, he could fly and catch you if that's not the case.
Right. But it's still so weird. Like, why? Why did you also find the tallest fucking building in the city to try to force me to jump?
Get more time to fly, obviously.
But there has to be better ways for me to fly. Like, let me do this.
You don't want a smaller fall, and they don't pop out. And they're like,
I'll take that if it means I only get a sprain ankle.
More time for the wings to come out.
All right, and then Superman and Lois. I really hope the show, like you said, is building towards Doomsday, because if it's not, I'm gonna be very disappointed. That's really the only thing that's exciting me about this show so far, is the idea that it could lead to Doomsday.
I like the show so far. I like the whole narrative so far in the story. And obviously it's leading to Doomsday. But I think it's a good story, so it's really easy to follow for me.
That's fair. I just want Doomsday. I just want Superman fighting Doomsday.
I know you don't like talking. You watch shows. It's hard to watch a show on mute. I get it. Especially that show.
It's even hard to watch it on as I'm fast forwarding. It's even harder.
Maybe you can't complain about these shows if you're not watching these shows.
Hey, catch me in the first 5 minutes. If you don't, you're getting fast forwarded.
That show is not like that, though. Superman Lois is more it's more story driven.
I get you, but in the story where, like, I could take that for Oliver, which I did. Which I keep, by the way, I keep telling people that are complaining about Boba having flashbacks for 4 episodes. I did 8 seasons of that shit. 8 unnecessary seasons of nothing but present day flashback.
And then they went flash forward. They're like, fuck you with the flash forwards.
Like, I keep telling people, you guys have no patience. You'd never be able to do CW. That's all Arrow was just boop, flashback. And then he gets off the island for you to give me a flashback of him going back to the island. And I'm like, okay, hold on.
That was the weirdest thing.
You're really testing my patience here. I thought the whole purpose was to get off of it. Oh, I hated that. But anyway, no, Superman and Lois by no means am I saying is a bad show whatsoever. It's just you sold me on that storyline so much that now I can't see anything else.
Well,
I need
it does seem like that's where it's going, and we've only the second episode now.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he's already out now, basically. I mean, he's already on it. I thought it'd take a little longer, but it's not. So.
We'll see. But I'm very excited for that. We don't have anything else, I think, big to
Legends, but that's Legends is Legends.
Oh, yeah, if you want to talk about Legends, I don't watch it, but if you wanted to talk about it, not really anything to report.
No, I mean, nothing major. It's just them doing shit. Nothing important.
Joel, tell me about Legends. It's just them doing shit. Oh, okay. that's all it is. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, it's nothing important.
I think that's it, really. I think we kind of covered everything.
I did want to speak about the Moon Knight costume.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Let's do it.
It's grown on me. The more I look at it, the more it grows on me. But more so the artwork, because I saw concept art, and that it looks really good. Because I get to see the full costume in the artwork. You'll get that with the scenes we've seen. It's just upper body, really, or the back. Like I want to see the full costume.
Right.
I think the detail I like the most about the newest the live action suit is the gold plating underneath the costume that you can barely tell it's there, but once you get close enough, you can see it. The chest piece is gold, but it's wrapped. Shoulder pads are gold. Obviously, the moon symbols gold. The buckle, it's not a buckle. It's more like a ring that holds it looks like he's wearing a loincloth now. But that's gold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that I appreciate because there's little things like that. I'm like, all right. So he's like, you can tell he's wearing armor, but it's wrapped up in it's mummified and shit like that. I want to see what the legs look like and then like what those designs are, but we don't have any clear picture of that yet.
We'll get one soon. It comes out in 2 months, so we'll get one.
The mask is a little bulky. I wish it was a little more thinned out.
I swear to God, they always do that with the first shots. That was what could never get me sold on Red Hood. The kid's head is so fucking small. Why is the mask so massive? His head's not that big. Shrink it. It should be smaller. When he takes it off, it shouldn't seem like he's easily just doing like from back here, lifting the shit off. Like it should be here that he's just lifting off. Like it just seems so massive. But again, we always say this, Joel. They usually always do stupid shit like this first go around, and then just remarkably go better second time around. So the next time we see Moon Knight, I guarantee it probably looks a lot more slimmer. But my thoughts are the same. I don't think this will ever grow on me. The Daredevil suit never did. But again, the show is so good.
Better than the fucking Daredevil suit. I'll say that.
Well, how you felt about the Daredevil suit is 100% how I feel about Moon Knight. But to me, Daredevil was so good, I just didn't care. Like I didn't care after a while. It just stopped bothering me. So I feel as though Moon Knight will be the same way. I don't think it'll grow on me. I just think I won't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll see it, I'll go, I don't like it, and then I'll go, but damn, that was a good episode. And then that's it. That's how the rest of the season will play out. I'll go, I don't like it, but I don't care. It's such a good show. So to me, if you're able to do that, that's good in my books. But the more I look at it, and I try my best not to, but the more I look at it, the more I'm just like, it's such a simple design. I don't understand why you went this left when it's just very simple. Just all white costume. That's it.
It is all white costume.
No. But I'm saying it's just like, and I don't want to keep saying leather because it's not always leather, but the suit is very simplistic. I mean, just like we said about Daredevil suit, that's a very simplistic suit that you decided to go way left for. Like you got cute. There was just no need to. Yeah. Especially
the symbol and Moon Knight. You know, there's a lot of things they did right. It's just to me, my only issue with it is really just kind of too bulky. It's too bulky, especially here. Like, how do you hide the face when the hood is like right here? Like,
right. And again, I told you I wanted that aesthetic, but also to make it that bulky. But in the trailer, Oscar Isaac looks so small.
The suit looks bigger than him.
Right.
It's good. It looks good if you're disguising though, I guess. If it's a
I
disguise.
guess.
Tell it's him.
But which is
True.
why I said if you use the aesthetic that they use in the comics more, where it's kind of he kind of reveals himself like Batman does. So it's not always in the light full body. It's sometimes from a distance, and he's just jumping out, grabbing. You know how Batman does when it's like a bunch of robbers or whatever. That's where Moon Knight kind of is utilized his best. But it's so bulky. It's like it's very hard to believe I can't hear him coming. It's very difficult to believe that. It's so bulky.
We'll see. I just think I just do like the gold plating is cool. I thought that was like the little things like that. That grew on me because when I saw that, I'm like, it's not by itself. I thought it was just wraps, and then I got closer look, and you could see the gold plates and the gold moon, and there's like encryption. I'm like, okay, I like the little details. A lot of fucking mummy wraps that I wasn't expecting. That has to grow on me, but whatever. At least he looks distinctly different than most characters. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, guys, just do better by Oscar Isaac, because this is the second time that a concept that's very simple you got very cute for. So just do better by Oscar. Last two things we're getting out of here. First one is, and I think I just fucking lost it. Shit, I was very excited to just talk about that just now. Anyway, I'll go to the second one. We did get the rumor that some notable Marvel characters will be in Secret Invasion. So my question remains the same thing I've asked you, Joel, since we heard that this would be a show. Who do you think is the Skrull?
I don't care.
Come on, give me a name.
I'm not doing it.
Give me a name.
I don't know, and I don't care. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna sit here stressing. Who is? I can't. Like, but that's the one thing I wanted to avoid. Something that was gonna happen because I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to ruin like by making a character a Skrull. I think you ruin the character because then like when did that happen? Like,
yeah.
So it's like I don't know. We'll see.
Which again is why not having more grounded characters established a while ago could hurt you doing Secret Invasion, because it's like you can't come out and tell me Bucky was a Skrull. You know what I'm saying? But you could have done it for Sharon. Now we know Sharon's not a Skrull, so then it's like, well, characters like her would have been perfect to utilize as a Skrull. Someone we vaguely care about, but is big enough in the current story that we can go, okay, that's crazy. That's all I'm saying. So in the comics, big Avengers were Skrulls. A lot of the big Avengers aren't even on Earth. So it's like,
yeah, we have a whole bunch of new Avengers. We haven't even established the new Avengers yet. And you want me to?
Right.
That's why I don't know. I don't want to think about it because like, let them tell the story. This is way above my pay grade. I ain't trying to think about it.
I love it. Anyway, it seems like the rumor has it that the Batman tickets go on sale February 10th. So hopefully that is true. So Joel can secure all 4 days, so we can go all 4 days. Joel, I'm serious. I want to go all 4 days. So we can see the Batman all 4 days. So Joel said that that's what he's going to do. So that's what we're going to do. So look out for that, and the rumor that Thor: Love and Thunder trailer could be dropping on Valentine's Day. So that's interesting. That's very interesting, especially how you structure that trailer. Because that's what helped Deadpool out a lot. Is that it took the whole month of February and brought women into it. It was just like, I love you. And women were like, I want to see this shit. It seems like a romance movie. And it's like, oof, it is not.
It was. But it wasn't the only thing it was.
Well, okay, let me be more specific. It wasn't a Julia Roberts movie. It
wasn't your typical rom-com.
It was not. It was your murder com. That's what it was, for sure. But outside of that, that's it, guys. That's all we got for you on this new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. I can't remember what the other thing was that I wanted to talk about, so it's best we just end it. But I want to thank Joel for joining me as always. And we will see you guys same time, same place next time. Till then, peace.
Peace.